this week. But we start the way we start. Folks, until the lions have their own historians, the tales of hunting would always glorify the hunter. And you know, I'll say that again. I said, until the lions have their own historians, the tales of hunting would always glorify the hunter. Hello and welcome to the most opinionated hour on radio and the nation's thought-provoking hour. I am Nana Ansah Kwao IV, Chief of the Little Republic of Akwamu Edumasa, and I say thank God it's Monday. Folks, another wonderful opportunity, blessed with the gift of life to perform one of radio's all-important rituals, a ritual that aims to inform, to inspire, provoke emotions, indeed to get us angry, yet promote peace and boost our confidence that we can and we should do better. Welcome to the ritual I call That's My Opinion, right here on Joy 99.7 FM. At this time every Monday, so make it a point to join us. And our topic today, folks, the dilemma of 2024. The dilemma of 2024. Folks, if by some miracle we survive till 2024 without a civil hijack of the state, we shall be going to the polls again. Indeed, that's one thing that we do best. That's the part of democracy we never missed a class when it was taught. We will wake up at dawn, go and queue up. Some will even put stones to mark their position if they have to leave the queue for a while, or they will be better, or they have a way of just knowing that this stone was my stone or that brick is my brick. No kwaba. After voting, some will even further hang around till the polls are closed and being counted. We love to vote. It's our right. It's our right that if you deny us, we shall rain hell on you. If you deny us, we shall rain hell on you. Folks, you can refuse to give us good roads. You can refuse to give us health care. Don't even bring a doctor to the village or the town. The schools in the town could be breaking. Some indeed have broken and killed children. And you can even deny us water. Water. That's it. But for our right to vote, folks, you dare not. You dare not. You can take all the rights, but not our right to vote. So, folks, come 2024, God willing and civil patience, we shall be going to vote. Now, folks, hear me out and think about this. We have two options. A party we rejected so harshly and fiercely and voted out with over 1 million votes difference. Can't do anything with you anymore. Or a party that we currently hate and cannot even contend with. These are two options. You get to the poll on the right, the one that you just kicked out because it will just a fiacra going to be your poll on the left, the one you hate and can't live with. These are options. But I'm saying, how can this be our plight at this time in the life of our nation? How can this be our options at this time of the nation? Instead of getting to the polls and thinking that, the poll on the right is the ones that are going to introduce new technology and go heavy on technology and IA, maybe the one on the left is the one that's going to go heavy on agric, and we are sitting there debating, do you know what, do we move agric, do we move AI, whatever it is. No. That's not our option. And I'm saying, How can this be our plight at this time in the life of our nation? Folks, we constantly lament that this cannot be Ghana. And then you hear Kwame Nkrumah Ghana Panye. We refuse to accept our situation. Somehow we know that, the situation and fatai. Yet we are unable to change it. We believe ourselves to be cultured and steeped in some moral tradition. Even though it's not reflective in our society, it's inherent. We still believe. Say, Ghana 40, we can do better than this. And so we know we can do better. And for that reason, we talk and talk and talk and push. But just that willpower, that missing link, maybe one day. Folks, in 2024, the status quo will not stand. The status quo will not stand. The options presented to us will not be good enough. So those lacing their boots, coming to run for leadership should be thinking again. Because the status quo won't stand. The current youth are waking up. And they may fight the old system. This system which we have created, that's only able to create managers and not leaders. And yet we still go back and use the system as a default mode. They will fight the system. This imperial style presidency will not wash again. They won't buy it. They will demand prudence. They will demand austerity. They will demand modesty. And above all, folks, they will demand common sense. And now they have the larger constituency. If they drop their egos and come together, they will shake the system to its core. If they stop the thing and tying and this and that and come together as one constituency, as the Ghana youth, you will be amazed what they would move. But in 2024, watch it. Watch it, because they will not accept that status quo. Folks, the chorus of they are all the same, they are all the same, one mother, different fathers, is growing very, very loud and very obvious. And it is clear that the basic wrongs seems to cut across. The issue of instant enrichment as soon as you get political appointment, and all of a sudden you just live some sort of a luxury life. It appears, whether you're broke or not, we don't know, but your cars and everything, you become affluent. Expensive cars, the huge cost to the state, impunity. Folks, development, you sit back and you're watching development, and they're just developing to areas where they have a lot of thumbs. So they don't care how many factories, industries you have in an area. If you don't have many votes there, forget it. They are watching. Indiscipline. Sheer indiscipline. Lack of law enforcement. We write down all these laws and put them on the shelf, and then we sit back and watch the nation deteriorate. Folk, in 2024, the youth, they will demand leaders. We've had enough managers. We've had enough managers. So the system which we have created by law, which by the time you go through, you are so in debt and the stakes are so high for you, you spend so much money, you're unable to put your foot down. They won't accept it. They won't accept it at all. So I am urging to those who want to throw in their hats for leadership race in 2024 that go and rethink. Go and rethink. Because those good old days where you just come and it's winner takes all and you just blow all your money and you're unaccountable to anybody, that's gone. And to the youth, Obviously, you have noticed that the system, the manual which we are leaving you, it's it's not worth running a country with. And we have tried and tried and tried. Every 4 years, we try and try and try. And it's like every 4 years, we take 2 steps back. It's like every 4 years, we take 2 steps back because the system is unable to produce leaders. And the youth are going to run away from this manual. They won't buy it. They're not going to buy it. And so the game is changing. Where you can just be there and people will pollute waters, broad daylight, and you sit there and nothing happens. Those days are going. Folks, those days are going, if not gone. And come 2024, I'm telling you, if we survive till then, if we sail through till then, I'm telling you, this idea of let's go and pick, well, let's find the one, the lesser evil. You go to the polls and think, well, let's look for the lesser evil. No, it's not going to happen. And as Shem, when I open the line, Shem will call and say, and I've told you, this MPP, NDC, let's leave them aside and find the third force. So the third force out there, if you are, this is your time. Come together meaningfully. Come together meaningfully and form a sensible third force into the system so we shake the system. We have pushed and pushed and pushed, and by the grace of God, we still have a country intact. We still have a country intact. But I know we've got 2 years more to turn our faith around. To you, the youth out there, Monsempa. Hello, who's talking to me?
Hello, Nana.
Yes, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Tafik here.
Who's this?
Tafik.
Oh, Tofik, let me hear you, my brother.
Lucky to get through. Sometimes we try and we don't. I think we will appreciate what you do, and may God keep your life long for us. Nana, for me, from what you've said so far and what we take from you, we think the third force is you. Because I agree with you, MPP and NDC, no difference. The only difference is the slogans and then their names. That's all. They all come to amass wealth for themselves. They don't have any of the nation at heart. And it saddens me. Now, yes, with the youth, if the momentum is developing, but it's not as we expect it to be in 2024, because in 2020 we all targeted that A plus came up with TPP. I sacrificed some time and supported it, but during the elections we never saw any impact from that. And I think it's not about getting a certain umbrella with a specific name as a party per se. But somebody like you, I think you have the media, which is also, I think, one of the strong forces that can push for us to have that strong third force so that we ignore those MPP and NDC, because most of the time it's the media that cover most of the things they do. If you agree, if most of the media people agree that what these people are doing is not something that will benefit the nation, I think you people should do the right thing first, because you have the masses. If you boycott both MPP and NDC for the sake of God and country, I think the nation will go far, Nana. So please, I'm pleading with you and all the other folks in the media set. Can you try and find those that agree with you, especially Joy FM? You are very neutral. You don't look at who is in power. I think you can get few other stations and then you add them to your force and then you support this force. Thank you, Nana.
Thank you very much, too, Tafik. Hello, who's talking to me?
Nana.
Yes, sir.
Okay. My right to vote has never been exercised because yeah, as a little boy, as young as I was, I knew then that these two political parties will keep winning and they wouldn't help us. So I decided not to vote. I have the will that I would like to vote. But the thing is, whoever I'll choose to vote for wouldn't win because it wouldn't be either of these parties. We need a test force. It shouldn't necessarily be a political party. We need someone very strong, a youth, who will lead a cause, be as an independent candidate. It's okay. And we'll rally behind this person. We might not win, but it will be a start. And we'll keep going and keep going and keep going till it happens. Because it's okay. They've ruled out for far enough. Book, diploma, masters, degrees, it has ruled us for far enough. And we still don't know our left and right. Sometimes I wonder, I always say education is supposed to enhance common sense, wisdom, and skill. But unfortunately, in my part of the world, it looks like this three is lost to reading books, getting certificates. We need change, Nana. Just this evening, I was listening to the news, and they say a Saglame project, some building, they use state money to build. But because it's not the government who started, the government who started has left power. Nana, millions of dollars, Nana. And I ask myself, is these people, if Ghana was their private company, would they leave a structure, private company, say, the manager or managing company no previous that's the questions I ask myself. And these are the people that we say they have the country at heart. We are crying about dollar. And so, sports minister called parliament, he quoted figures, huge amount of dollars, millions of dollars figures that we used to pay the Black Stars. And I'm asking myself, can't we quote Ghana cities? Can't these figures be converted into Ghana cities? And this is the same government who is crying and telling me that we are in this together. Nana, we need change. A change that will take a while to happen. But when we start right now, it's only a matter of time. Good evening.
Good evening. Change is happening. It's just that sometimes change is so slow you don't realize that change is happening, but it's happening. We need to be deliberate and cautious about it. 0302216541. 0302216541. The national interest movement on my mind. That's a WhatsApp message I got. The national interest movement. Should be a big umbrella movement for all the movement to come under. Hello, who's talking to me?
Hello, Nana. Good evening.
Good evening. Who am I talking to?
This is Edward, Millennium City.
Let me hear you, my brother.
Okay, thank you very much, Nana. Nana?
Yeah.
I have just some few words to say. Recently, the entire members of parliament decided to take the seat of a sitting minister of state who has not been doing well for the country, but they tried as much as possible, they couldn't. Recently, an investigative journalist just came out with a documentary which is talking about some bad things some of the ministers or leaders are doing in this country. And he was able to allow the president to move this Minister of State out of office. The reality here is that the media, you have a very specific power that none of the organs of government is having. Perhaps the media has not realized, but today I am telling the media that your role as the fourth arm of government is very unique. You are an arm of government that do not belong to any of the three arms of government because none of them are appointed. So you shouldn't be afraid when you are exercising your duty. You don't have to show any kind of interest when you are working. Your work can help the country develop. But what we are expecting from you is you have to play neutral in your work. Do not fear when you are working because you are very powerful to help us take away corruption.
Thank you very much for that contribution. 0302216541. Hello, who's talking to me?
No, good evening.
Good evening.
No, my name is Pakojo.
Pakojo, let me hear you.
No, I am sad this evening.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed, I've been sad since issues of corruption started getting reported. And I've been asking myself this question. Now, this evening, permit me to blame you a little. Not you as in Nana Ansah Kwao, but all of you in the media landscape.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we have failed as a people, as a citizenry, to decipher the right person or the right party to vote for. But I think that you in the media have also not done your job. Nana, the world knows that when former president of the United States, Donald Trump, was in power, we all know the role CNN played. We all know, we cannot deny it, in exposing the negligence that engulfed his reign. Nana, what have we done?
Oops.
Look at what is happening in this country. What is this? So can't we rally? You spoke about national interest movement. Nana, what is wrong with the media, which is the fourth estate of the realm, rallying people for us to talk against this kind of thing that is happening in this country? Why?
Well,
are we not failing?
I think there's enough of that too. I mean, I was even going to say this, the Galamsey fight should come back.
Obviously, Mr. Mika, Mr. Mika, I've already apologized. But you see, our platform, I talk shop. When will the media take the role of the fourth estate? Galamsey, yes, we succeeded. But look at what is happening in this country. Just this evening, look at what is happening in this country. Why?
Oops. Hello?
Yeah, hello.
Yes, sir. Who's talking to me?
Yeah, Nanaza.
Yeah.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Kofi Protocol.
Kofi, let me hear you.
Yeah, Nana. I disagree with any person that will say that the NDC and the MPP are the same. They are never the same. Look, Nanaza, we must be forthright as people of this country. Look at His Excellency President Mahama. Look at what he did from 2012 to 2016. Look at the problem that he had in respect of Dumso. He sat and did everything to solve the problem. When he got extra money, he established Ghana Gas. And Ghana Gas is halving the whole country's gas consumption. Show me the equivalent of Ghana Gas that this NPP government has done.
Please, you people, you see, somebody called Nana and was blaming you and the media. You people have sat down, this evil president, this Akufo-Addo is.
Good job. I read my my disclaimer. Let me go to the phones. Hello, who's talking to me?
Hello,
Yes.
this is Israel.
Let me hear you.
Israel from Tema.
Let me hear you, Israel.
Oh, thank you, Nana. You are doing great this country. Nana, I learned that Nana's expose has driven out one of the ministers of state. Please, right now, whether that minister is he or not.
If it's what?
The minister involved in the colloquy, is
Is he an MP? No.
It's not.
No.
Okay. The president let the whole world know that whoever has an evidence should bring it, prosecute for corruption. We are all watching to see what he is going to do with this man. I'm really surprised he sacked him. Why will he sack him? They should order his arrest before going to investigate the whole thing.
Well, I think they've done what legally they have to do. The president says he should. His appointment has been terminated, and they are going to do investigation. But you see, I don't want specifics here. You see, the reason why I don't want specifics, I'm not saying that President A never did anything or President B has never done anything. The point is, if you stand back and you put the sum total of all they did, where are we? 100,000 teenage pregnancies a year. How are you going to develop? Bad roads, schooling, education. And we all know that the structures, the foundation, we need to hit a reset button. Okay, let me put it this way. We have to hit a reset button. It's just that nobody is bold enough to hit that button, because where do you start from? But we have to hit the reset button. So it's not necessarily against, party A against party B or party B. No. Joe, whatever Mahama done, whatever Nana has done, let's sit back, look at the country, the poverty rate, the gap between the have and the have-nots, the whole thing. So the sum total is what I'm talking about. The sum total. Yes, if you go back into the fine details and do this and do your comparisons, but that's not what my show is about. My show is about equity. We sit back and we look at it in general. And I think it's very important that we sit back and collectively say, look, after all their contributions in the Fourth Republic, this is where we are. This is where we are. Where, when developments are chasing votes and, people who get appointed into governments, live a certain lifestyle that's not justifiable. Unexplained wealth. So, if you don't look at that and you just want to go into people's portfolios and say, well, he constructed 10 kilometers more road than he did, the rest have all potholes on it. Whether somebody did more roads, somebody did more flyovers, what is the sum total? And that's what I will always focus on the sum total rather than, fine picking what he did or what they did. Because whatever they did or he did, you still have bad roads. You still have your healthcare is lacking. We are lacking in agriculture. We are lacking in all sectors in spite of what everybody did. And you and I agree that we can't justify being here at this time. So what do we do? Hello, who's talking to me?
Hello, Nana.
Yes, sir. Who's talking to me?
I am calling from Tema.
Let me hear you.
Yes, this is my first time of listening to you. I was just coming, but when I started listening, I couldn't go off your frequency.
I'm glad. Thank you.
Nana, at the moment, to be an MP, you need about 3.2
million Ghana cedis. And for the 4 years 10, you'll be paid 1.2 million. Yet people are interested in still going into this. That means there's a secret you and I don't know. Because a businessman will not use 3.5 million to go and get 1.2 million. And that is the problem. Because when I come in to contest for an MP and I don't have anything to give, nobody will vote for me. So as soon as I pay the 3.5 million, I've already paid for everything. You don't expect any development from me again. So the problem is from all of us. Until we start to think and do the right thing, then there will not be development for all of us in this country. Because if you ask me to pay and I get to parliament, don't expect anything from me. So I just want to bring this up for all of us to think about it as people who are interested in the development of Ghana. Thank you.
Thank you too. 0302216541. Hello, who's talking to me?
That's Richard calling from Cape Coast.
Richard, let me hear you.
Nana, yes, you said it right when you said in 2024 we'll have the opportunity to choose between or to choose the lesser evil, because at the polls it will be between NDP and NDC. Yes, that is right. I'm of the view that under the NDC, under President Mahama, we didn't experience any pandemic. We didn't experience any Russian-Ukraine war. But we went through severe hardship. Like someone was saying, doomsday, and saying that Mahama solved himself, those are trouble gas plants. And he went on to say certain things I didn't like, and he cut him off. You did well by doing that. But everybody knows that for this country to strike oil in commercial quantity was the NPP. So if the NDC should build a factory for a byproduct of the oil, then we shouldn't credit NDC, but credit the NDC. Is that what he's saying? That within 2017 to 2019, we all saw the growth that this country experienced under Akufo-Addo. And this global crunch, economic crunch, is not being experienced by only Ghana. Now, you well-established economies like UK, America, and world leaders like Joe Biden, like Sunak, have all attested to this fact. Oil prices are increasing globally. It's unprecedented. Within about 40 years, the world has never experienced this. But if for all that, the light is on. Akufo-Addo has been able to buy fuel to power the plant for Joy FM to use it for operation without buying for a petrol to fuel its plant.
Thank you very much there. 0302216541. Hello, who am I talking to?
My name is Bibini Nsuyenipa.
Bibini
Nsuyenipa.
Thank you. Let me hear you.
So, for my brother who just left, like you said, what NDC did, what NPP did, and they could use Nekrakra and this morning I listened to Uncle Lebowai on Food for Thought. He gave a very nice sermon, and when he was ending, he said, by God's grace, it shall be well again. I sat down, and I thought about it, and I was asking myself, God, by God's grace, exactly what do we want from God again as a people? We forget that God wouldn't do with miracles what you have to do with your hands, what you have to do with your common sense, what you have to do with your wisdom. God wouldn't do that for us. Why is man always shifting his responsibility to God when he messes up, when he's not doing what he's supposed to do? Everything we are praying, instead of using our hands, what we have to do with our hands, we turn to prayers, and it keeps messing us up as a people. We are fortunate to be blessed with everything a nation needs to succeed. Yet still, because of our bad deeds, because of the things we don't do right, we keep messing ourselves up, and when we finish, we resort to prayers, expecting God to come and do what for us again. if we are able to see God, Nana, don't you think he will look at us and say, you people, what again do you want me to do for you? Don't you think he will answer this question with everything that he's done for us already? What again do we need? Nana, like you said, we tie ourselves with so many traditions, so many things that even though it doesn't make sense when you compare it to reality, yes, so we hold on to it and we tie our necks with it, and it kills us so much. And unfortunately, majority of the people refuse to recognize this. And we keep going back, we mess ourselves up, and after that we go back to prayer. What should God do for us again? Oh, Bibinisi and Nipao. Nakupon my Yansan be. Ogonia Nico, you know, Nimunyan see you. Or you soon have gain, or you soon a common sense, or you soon a wisdom. On infrastructure, sir, they've used state money to build, in the bush because he didn't start it. Are you serving political interests or you are serving the nation? I don't get it, Nana. It's left for us to use our wisdom, our common sense, and the little knowledge that we will get to make sure that the little that we have, it will multiply for us.
Thank you very much, my brother. 0302216541. Hello. Hello. 0302216541. Get through. Let's hear what your opinion is. The dilemma of 2024. Okay, hello. Who's talking to me?
Hello, Nana.
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm Bright. Good.
Bright, let me hear you.
Yes, calling for Labadi. Nana, I'm back.
I
think that I want to have an opinion on what you are. I think your program is one of the best, and I've been following a lot. I don't also think that as a nation, we are hopeless or we are useless at how we want it to be. I think that probably development has been slow, probably because of the kind of leadership we've had over the years. But I think that there's one missing equation that we are all forgetting. Mm-hmm. We are running this country with manifestos instead of national development plan. And that is what is lacking in the equation. And that is what is giving rise to all these things we are saying. In fact, at times it's sad. It's sad how things are turning out to be. And it's all because there's always competition between political parties as to who should present him or herself right before the populace instead of the national interest at heart, which is the bane of this country. And I think we should push for that national development plan so that irrespective of whichever political party comes into power, they still can have a roadmap as to how and where we want to go as a country. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And who's talking to me?
Hello. Nana, good evening.
Good evening.
It's been a tough time getting to you.
Great. I'm glad you
It looks like you have the nation behind you.
Well, I'm glad.
So what people are saying, look, you got it right. So look, I listen to you intermittently when I have the opportunity to, and I support you. You are doing a great job. Look, the media. Let's say Samson Ladi, yourself, Bernard Avle. What we need to do in these two parties that we've got, we need the third force that you're saying. The third force, whether they come or they don't come, we need the media to hammer things, ask serious questions. For example, they went to Parliament and they said somebody came to give a bribe and whatever. We don't know the name, and nobody is pushing them. We're not descend on them, but coming to elections, what I think is that people like you, Bernard Avle, Samson Ladia, and then the one in the telecom chamber, for Galamsey, people can run to muffle the vote such that they will make deals with independent thinkers like you so that in parliament and in the executive, it's not going to be the same status quo. So we shouldn't look at the CPP or PPP and all of that. Some of you can get donations from listeners, people like us and all over the country, that you run, and I bet you it will make them not get that 50 point whatever 1%. And they have to make deal with you and tell them, look, if we don't stop Galamsey, you're not going to be the president. So I'm just going to make it short. The thing is that we shouldn't just sit back, look at PPP, CPP, and all of that. People like you, if you say you want to run and you ask for donations, you are not going to give bribes, and we will support you. We will support Benanavle, we will support Samson, Ladi, and the rest. Thank you.
I think you hit the nail right on the head, with this idea, because I remember when I did the show Ansah Kwao for President, which you nearly chopped my head off. That's what I also said, that you see, for a third force to come and think I'll floor MPP or floor NDC, look, you are from planet Earth. But if you're able to convince people that, listen, even if we can get 7%, 5% of the votes, nobody would win. And just like my brother said, we then put in our rules that no Galamsey, no V8, no first class, no big size government, no this, no that. You put all that, go heavy on agric, no importation of things that you can grow and harvest in 3 months. You cannot import those things. So once you, the third force, even though you only have 5%, you bring these things and tell whoever who's nearer to the poll to say that, listen, if you abide by all these things, I will give you my support. So you may not necessarily be the president, but your rules will be running. And that's what I say. Those who run independent, that the grounds are very good, we win hands down. Sometimes I don't even know what I say. And son one more say, can be KK say that, you win where? You won't win. But let us understand that, listen, these are the rules as a third force. Galamsey, environment, education, population growth, which is killing everybody. Persons with disability who we treat as though they are passing, they are visitors here. So you put all this in a document solid. And if you can just get 5% of the vote, you tell whoever, whether the MPP or NDC nearer the mark, say, Joe, if you want to be president, these are the rules. And of course, who doesn't want power? They'll say yes. And who's talking to me?
Good evening, Nana.
Good evening.
This is Love Lance Nana. I'm calling from Magna Terrace, Committee 25.
Let me hear you.
Nana, please, do they listen to you? Our leaders, do they listen to your shows?
I'm sure they do. I hope they do. Let me see. I hope
if they do, why is it that up to date, Ghanaians are complaining and they still don't mind us? They continue doing whatever they want to do. They refuse to listen to the citizens. So sometimes I listen to you always, but I feel so lazy to call because I don't think they listen to us. If they do, they should have stopped certain things by now.
Hopefully. This one says, good evening, Nana. Neem tree is strong and bitter, but it can cure and help many ailments. Neem is the cure. National Interest Movement. Choboy. All hands on deck, please. Together we move. Thanks. Nee from city of Kakasuka. The National Interest Movement. NIM is the National Interest Movement. It's going to be the umbrella movement. Will be a Mbesha movie. Be a Mbesha movie. Well, it's been interesting. The dilemma of 2024. On the ones and twos. all geared up to bring you the News Bulletin. Kofi Hayford is also coming up to play us songs to make our dilemma not so severe. Say congratulations to Nana Ansah Kwao IV. Had a nice Thanksgiving service yesterday. After the Adai festivities, there was all roads to the Presby Church. Nana Ansah Kwao IV III, the Akwamuhene. Until the lions have their own historians, you know it. Tales of hunting would always glorify the hunter. I am Nana Ansah Kwao IV, Chief of the Little Republic. God willing, Monday, we shall be back to do this all over again.